Okay, so I had a whole intro to these lights that I have to redo because I was kind of brutal with that intro. Eh, The reason being is I'm using two new LED lights. And when the company reached out, I'm like, no, I don't want another cob light. And they're like, but our light is better because the color is more accurate and the color is wider and it does so much more. And I'm like, yeah, everybody says that. So it's an RGB ACL, if I have that correctly. I don't know what that means. All I know is I was not enthused to do these lights at all. Now I'll show you the unboxing. Yeah, not really unboxing, but like the unboxing. And I put together this flat panel, which is lighting me right now here. And then this one here, which is just out of the box. But I want to show them to you without the audio because I was such a dick. Uh, After I used them in the shoot, like when I started, I was like, okay, yeah, they're LEDs. And then we decided to put some color into it, and they're they're magical. It's- I don't know what it is. Like the app, I think it works. It has that color picker where you can actually take a picture of what she's wearing, and others do that. But this has such a wide gamut, from HSM to RGB, the XY color. Like these were so easy to use and so easy to set up to get to the color that I wanted. I was kind of impressed. Now, this one here, which is the 300C, has the magenta green shift correction, which I love because I'm using that color meter and I can match the colors exact to this one. This one, this is a bicolor, and this is a 200 watt. This is the 300C, which is 340 watt. I ended up using this as the backdrop light, and you'll see why during the shoot, but I'm really impressed with it. That's all I have to say. I'm very happy that the company sent them to me now because I got to try them and actually, you know, the, they were right. They're really good. I love this single panel, and I wanted to show a single panel, and that was if you send me the single panel, I'll show this light because a lot of people don't have the room, or if they have home studios. So this flat panel is perfect for them because it doesn't take a lot of ceiling height if you want to put it above. It doesn't take a lot of room if you want to put it on the side because there's no depth to it. It's just a flat panel. I have the grid on it. It's a nice light. It works. It has the softbox on it right now. I'm thrilled with it. That's all I'm going to say. So, Suncrafter, I'm impressed. Call me impressed because it really was a great experience with your lights. Tastic. Anyway, I'm going to shut up now. Let's get to the shoot. I'll show you these lights and shut off the audio so you can see them, and then we'll get into the shoot and I'll show you what they could actually do. Anyway, thanks for watching as always. Suncrafter, I apologize for what you're not going to hear, but now that I use them, I'm happy. Thanks again.
Now, before I get into these lights, I just want to tell you at the end of the video, I'm going to show you my retouching and post-processing, which is going to amaze you. I'm really thrilled with this new way of editing that I'm doing, and I love it. It's working fantastic for me. Now, LEDs are coming out every other day. That's why I'm always saying no to all these companies with their new LEDs. They're just ridiculous that I know they're improving. I get that, but this channel would be nothing but LEDs if I accepted all the LEDs that were offered to me because there's so many of them. Um, the flat panel, I'm putting this together without instructions. I'm just using common sense, and it was easy. It really is common sense in how you put this together. That's the softbox. Everything is Velcro. It goes together quickly and easily. When you're putting on the diffuser panel, put it deep so you have room for your grid. Just put it deep on the Velcro so there's some Velcro left on the for the grid itself. Anyway, the other part of this was the cord. I'm like, this seemed like a short cord, but then in the box there was an extension cord as well. It is definitely long enough for a very large boom, so I was happy about that. They didn't, scrimp on that. I love this flat panel. I think it's amazing. I hate the color. the trim, and I hate their logo. It's absolutely hideous. That being said, the rest of it's good. It just works. Now, this is me bitching about cob lights that are coming out every other day. It would cost everybody a fortune if they upgraded every single time a new cob light come out. This cob light is plasticky, very plasticky, but I think it's nice. I mean, for in studio, I have no problem with it. And it's extremely lightweight, which I love as well. And it's that full color RGB, ACL, or whatever it's called. I don't know what that is. I know a lot of companies don't want me to review their products because I don't know anything technical. All I care about is when I put it up, turn it on, how does it look? And if it looks good, what more could you ask for? Honestly.
So I have this set up, my main obviously, which will do most of the work. But I have this one overhead set up, so it's going to give me a hair light, somewhat of a rim light, little light on the shoulders, and it'll also help fill in the backdrop. Without it, the backdrop's going to go darker, obviously, but this is going to add light to it and give some more depth to my photos. So that's where we're going to be. I'm going to use the Nikon Z7 II with the 50mm 1.8 S lens. Absolutely still amazing to this day. It's a wonderful lens if you've never tried it. But anyway, let's get into the shoot now, the third time, and see how these do.
So this was going to be my shoot, and this was going to be my whole video with this setup. This is it. Here's the thing. While I was shooting, I'm looking at the back of the camera, I'm thinking, there's something a little special about the lights. Now, I used the Datacolor color meter, which I'll leave in the description because I love that thing to, get the color right. And then I set my Kelvin temperature on the camera, and this is out of camera, and it's impressive. The color is fantastic. Now, I didn't do any editing to this one, but the other ones I did some light editing, which again, we're going to do at the end of this video because you guys are going to really love this. I love this natural look that I'm getting with this new retouching thing, and it's not a per image cost, and it's not, you don't have to be connected to the internet to use it. It just works. And I'm going to show you how to automate it so it's quick and easy and you're not stuck on the computer for hours, which I absolutely love. It does it on its own, which we'll go into later. Now, these lights, as I'm using them, I'm thinking, I'm really liking this look. I'm loving what this thing can do. Now, I could have thrown a, reflector on the right side there just to fill in a little bit, but I'm okay with this. I'm really liking the way it looks. By the way, you see on the left there, the wrinkly backdrop. We're going to show you how to fix this all, really quick and easily. I did this on the iPad, by the way. But the skin retouching I did on the computer, and I'll explain that again at the end, because I like things automated and quick and easy, so I don't have to sit in the computer for hours or the iPad for hours. I'm just absolutely positively loving these lights at this point. The color, the look of it. I'm at ISO 100, and the reason I can be at ISO 100 is because I'm shooting wide open at 1.8, and I just love the look. This lens is fantastic, by the way, that 50 1.8 Z lens. Not that this video is about that, but from the day I got this lens, which was how many years ago? I don't even know if it was 2019, I think. Anyway, getting back to the video. So I'm going to change this around. I'm using this as a side rim light now. Because again, I wasn't going to do any of this, but as I was using it, I'm thinking, oh my God, I really love these lights. They're actually, producing great color and great light for what they are. So I just played more and more with them. Now I'm turning this into my main light because the flat panel, like I said, for a lot of home studios and smaller studios and people that are just hobbyists, this is fantastic. Now, this is only at 30% power because I didn't want to, put too much light on the backdrop. So now I'm taking that big soft box and making it my backlight. honestly, because I was too lazy to take the softbox off. But I figured, well, the grid's on it. It's not going to spill on anything. So let's play with color on this thing because, you know, see how the color is. The color on this and the selection of the color through the app is absolutely amazing. Um, I I've used so many LEDs where I struggle with getting the exact color that I want, but this one was so easy to get to the exact color. And there was so many colors and so many options, you know, through HSL and RGB. It's just impressive. Plus that color picker, which to me is spectacular. We're just trying everything, all different ways, all different lighting effects, everything just to push these lights. Now, here's the color picker that I used. You know, I'm going to take a picture of her jeans and it's going to immediately go to the jean color. It's not going to really reflect that well on the video because the video is just, you know how these cameras are. But, you know, I took a picture of her jacket. It matched the color exactly. I love these things, you know, and again, that's not new. There's, you know, other brands that do this as well. But I loved it on this one because the color is so good on that 300C. And I'm like shocked that I'm saying this because I didn't expect to like them this much. And I was really brutal when I started this video, beyond belief. Now, I just handed her the phone so she can pick a color. It really is that easy to use and to pick. So she picked her color, and you know we did a shot. I said, you know, use color wheel and use the complementary color to the red for her jacket, and that was the complementary color. And it does look nice, but I think I like the red a little bit better. But it's a nice light. Now that again, that panel right now is at 30 or 40% power. I could have turned it up and got a better image out of that. But again, we're just playing because this was not in the plans. None of this. The plan was to shoot a straight, you know, main light, hair light. We're done. There are the lights. They sent these to me for free. They're not paying me or anything. Look at that logo, by the way, on the rim of that flat panel. That is the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my life. I don't know if I would actually take this on location because of that alone. So, Suncrafter, if you're listening to me, uh, to get rid of that. By the way, I'm using that fan, that Nitecore fan on a stand. I'm using that so much more than the other one that I had because that other one is definitely handheld. This one you could put on a stand and, you know, turn on and then adjust the power. I love this and it works great. I'm throwing so much stuff at you. I apologize. But I love these products. And if I love the products, I'm going to show them to you and share them with you because they're that good. The other part of this is these lights are inexpensive compared to other lights on the market. And that apparently that ACL part of this RGB ACL, or I think it's ACL. If I'm wrong, I apologize. That's amazing. So now I'm going to show you the post processing. So I took the images, my favorite images, and you know I put them on a drive because I'm you know I make my pics on my iPad, and I brought them into the computer because I'm going to try this Reblum. Reblum is it's a subtle retouching that looks natural. And that's the key. It takes care of the distracting things, but keeps the skin the way it's supposed to be, the texture the way it's supposed to be. It is a very subtle retouch that's not over the top, which I absolutely love. Now, they have a update coming, I think, later in the fall, which will take care of I think they're adding like hair, um, flyaway hair, eyes, so you can like, you know, boost the eyes a little bit. And, you know, I don't know all of it. I'm excited about it, is all I'm saying. I love it the way it is because you can see how subtle that is. But now I want to show you how I create a action for this so I can automatically process these images. And this is important to me because I don't want to sit at the computer for hours doing each image like this. I want to automate it. So I'm going to start a action, record an action. You know, I'll just call this one Rebloom so I know what it is when I do it, start recording, and then I just redo the same thing I just did in Reblum. Now, whatever you do in Reblum, whatever the settings you make now, when you run the script on this and it automates, it's going to do the same thing for each image, which is perfect for me because she doesn't need much on her skin. I just need those little bit of distractions, a little tiny imperfections to go away, and I'm happy with it. Now, here, I'm going to show you the fashion side of it, which is, it's not too heavy. It's heavier than the natural, but I like the natural better for her because I really do love her skin texture and somewhat imperfections. I want to just subtly lighten the imperfections, not make them go away, because I hate that plastic look. The positive side with Reblum is not only is it subtle and natural looking, but it's also not a paid per image process, and you don't have to be connected to the internet to use it. So I have it set. I stop my recording because that's all I need. I'm not going to save this image because I'm going to run this through a batch now. So to run it through the batch, you just go to your scripts and then image processor, and then I'm going to select what folder my images are in. This stuff is easy and common sense, but we'll go through it anyway. So this is where my folder is with the images, and then I'm going to select where I want them to go after they're done. So I'll just create a new folder, and I'm just using a external hard drive because I want to take these right back into Lightroom when I'm done on the iPad. So this is where they're gonna go, and then I select what action I want. I'm saving them as PSDs. I'd never save anything as a JPEG until I'm finally done with all the images because I don't want that constant compression every time you pull up an image. Anyway, so now it's running the action, and it's going to go through every image in that folder, and it's going to put it in the new folder after they're edited. I don't have to sit here and watch it or do it. It's just going to do it for me. So I can go do something else while this is going through all the images. Now, I bring them back into the Lightroom on the iPad. I just want to show you how I correct, like this here had the backdrop corner in it. So I'm just going to run that generative fill. It'll fill it in for me. And then I'll save it to Lightroom again. And then I'll do my final edits in Lightroom. I don't do this with every image, but when I see an image like this that I love, with their hair blown, and I want to use this for the thumbnail for the video as well, so I want to give this one a little extra care. So I'll pull it up in Lightroom now. I select the backdrop, and then I'll adjust the color and tone and contrast and so forth. And that's it. I mean, that's my total edit. When you think about it, I did my initial cull of the images where I'm saying, okay, I like this one, and this one. And then I put it onto the computer. I just run Reblum on that automated thing. I don't have to sit there in front of it. I bring them back into the Lightroom, and then I make these kind of edits, which takes, a minute to do this. Anyway, that's it for today. This was a long one. I apologize, but I hope you got something out of this. If you have any questions, leave them below. And thank you for watching as always.